Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining 79 Consulting's webinar on document management in NetSuite. My name is Amanda Soto, and I'm a channel manager at 79 Consulting. I'm responsible for maintaining relationships and ensuring that our program is successful. Now that I've introduced myself, allow me to provide you with some details on who we are and what we do. 79 Consulting is a sister company to Tvarana. 79 Consulting is created in a way to simplify our name, and it is in essence Tvarana rebranded. Our company was founded in 2007 as a Salesforce and NetSuite consulting firm. In 2008, we became a NetSuite solution provider. In 2014, we created our first suite app, SkyDoc, a storage solution for NetSuite. We now have over 8 apps on SuiteApp.com and provide support managed services, integration services in NetSuite and Salesforce clients. Throughout this webinar, we'll be walking you through a live demo in NetSuite. We'll be using a NetSuite test account, which may be slower, so we appreciate your patience with us. We also have a chat feature where you can ask us questions during this webinar. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. This webinar is put together exclusively for our partners to have first access to all of our enhancements on our most popular app, SkyDoc. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to go over a few things. If you have any questions, please feel free to add them in our chat box. We have a special member of our team answering our questions in real time. And secondly, we'll be asking a few poll questions throughout this time. Your response is greatly appreciated and will help us shape these webinars. Now let me introduce today's speaker, Kishore Boja. Kishore is our founder and director. Kishore founded Tvarana in 2007 and was actively involved with implementations. Now with a team of over 70 consultants, Kishore is involved in driving marketing activities. Please give a warm welcome to Kishore.
Hey, thanks, Amanda.
Kishore, what are some of the options for document management in NetSuite?
There is no document management inside of NetSuite, but NetSuite comes with file storage, Amanda. Gives users the ability to store documents on transactions and records like invoices, sales orders, customers, or vendors. NetSuite File Cabinet also gives the ability for users to share these files via emails.
That sounds like a good solution. Are there any limitations to NetSuite File Cabinet?
Yes, Amanda. Even though NetSuite does a good job with storage of files, there are some limitations on the File Cabinet.
What kind of limitations, Kishore?
Let me first list a few, and then we can go from there. It's definitely not the easiest system to use. It requires a lot of clicks to even upload or review those files. It's expensive over the standard storage. So it's once you cross the standard storage, it becomes quite expensive. And it has a file size limitation, the size of the file that you can upload or you can work with for your emails. There's a huge limitation there. And finally, it's not a collaborative tool, which means that you cannot share these files with vendors, customers. You cannot work with your external entities on these files.
Okay. I would think a modern ERP will have all these features. So what's the solution?
Yes, modern ERP should have all these features in this day and age, especially. NetSuite is a platform designed to help partners create solutions to fill the gaps. There are a few solutions on NetSuite Marketplace called SuiteApp.com. In fact, we have a solution on SuiteApp.com called SkyDoc. SkyDoc is a comprehensive document management solution with over 35 customers.
Okay, that's good to know. How does SkyDoc work?
SkyDoc is an integrated solution between NetSuite and AWS S3. When we wanted to build a document management solution on top of NetSuite, we looked to bring the best storage solution and build the features for collaboration and to overcome other limitations in NetSuite. Users can drop all their documents into NetSuite, access them from there. For users, it all looks like one application. They'll never be able to tell where NetSuite ends and SkyDoc begins.
Hey, that's awesome, Kishore. What kind of documents can users save on SkyDoc?
Any document and any file format. Anything that you have on your hard drive can be saved on SkyDoc.
So SkyDoc sounds like a good solution, but the documents are confidential. Is SkyDoc secure?
SkyDoc is secure, scalable, and robust. SkyDoc has been around for over 5 years, and we've never had a downtime. The storage from AWS is scalable. You just sign up and pay for what you use. There's no commitment or any limits on the size of the storage.
Oh, wow. Are there any specific business cases that you're trying to address?
Yes, Amanda. We want to replace all the documents in your office. You can scan all of them into SkyDoc, attach them to their transactions or customers or vendor records. This way, users have the documents attached in NetSuite and don't have to click through or have to look at into different places for these documents. Imagine the bills, expenses every accounting department receives, or all the documents your warehouse receives, or even the documents that you use for all your approvals. We'll scan them all into SkyDoc, have them move through your business process, give the right set of users access. And in fact, SkyDoc has another trick up its sleeve. You can share these documents with users outside of NetSuite. You don't need all the users to be on NetSuite to review these documents. If you want to share documents with your vendors, employees, or customers, you can give them access securely.
Hey, thanks, Kishore. Kishore, you said that you could use SkyDoc in NetSuite implementations. How does that work?
Yes, Amanda. I've worked on quite a few NetSuite implementations and have noticed that no matter what process is set up, documents are always sent across via emails. Finally, at the end of the implementation, you have so many versions of the same document in so many places. I've seen people work off different versions. And another big challenge is at the end of the project, if you want to find a document, it ends up being a gold hunt. I think one of the reasons is because NetSuite does not give a way to collaborate with documents. No central repository of files, or to even save these files, no easy way to work with folder structure, and so on. With SkyDoc, you have a central folder structure, ability to restrict users based on a folder. SkyDoc also has version control to keep track of the latest version and archive the older versions. Additionally, SkyDoc supports the checkout feature so that multiple users can collaborate and work on a document. You can also initiate approvals on documents. These are workflows built using native NetSuite platform.
Hey, Kishore, SkyDoc sounds like a good solution. Would we be able to take a look? Can you show us a demo?
Sure, Amanda. Let me start by sharing my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Can you see my NetSuite home screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So with SkyDoc, you can attach files to any of the transactions, any of the entities like customers, vendors, employees, even items, or even any of the custom records or custom transactions that you've built as part of your business process. So let me open an existing transaction that I have already open, because this is a test drive account slower than your sandbox. I just didn't want you to wait for the records to open up. Right. So this is an existing transaction I have. It's a sales order, but this could be a customer, vendor, any record in NetSuite. And you always see SkyDoc as the last tab. You can click on SkyDoc. It's divided into two portions. One, to upload files, and two, to review the files that you've uploaded. You can click on this black line to increase your real estate or upload documents. And here we have a folder and category. Folders are the list of folders that you have access to and where you want to upload files. And category is a stamp that you put on a file. And this is a custom list that can be managed at your end. And then I can drag and drop one or more files, or I can select each file. So let me start off with dragging a few documents here. Like I said, you could use any file type. So I'm dragging 3 files. Now they're all being uploaded, and they've already been uploaded. They've been uploaded to Amazon S3, and they render here. And you can see all the 3 files here. And this is the data that you see about the file. You see the file name, file type, folder, category. Obviously, I've not selected any category. And size of the file, date when it was uploaded, who the user is. And if you want to view or download it, you can click here. But let me come back to category. It's very important feature that you could use to help sort files. So I can add one or more categories, right? So let's say I'm saying this is a project file and this is a SkyDoc file. I click on submit. The best part is you can use it even in your saved searches. So if you're looking through your documents, you can use this category as your saved search filter. And then we've tried to make it as easy as possible for users to adopt. So we've tried to mimic pretty much all the features that NetSuite provides. So you can click on any of the header column to sort the files by that column, right? And then you can hover your mouse onto the file name and a preview is loaded. You don't have to download the files to understand what the files are. You don't have to click multiple times. So you can just preview the file types, and most of the file formats are supported here. That are supported by your browsers. And then we have a bunch of actions on top. So I can select one or more files, right? And then I can say, I have multiple actions like delete. I'm going to come back to delete again. Move, copy, if you want to create a new folder, send for approval, review related records. And most of these actions are based on your role permissions. So in SkyDoc, we firstly inherit all the NetSuite roles and permissions. And then on top of it, we add another layer of security saying which role can have what action. Okay, so if I don't have access to delete, I won't be able to delete those files. I can only upload a view. And I'm going to show you how we restrict that, right? But before I go there, I want to show you this related record files. So one of the challenges that a lot of people have asked us is if our users upload files at, let's say they've created an opportunity, they have a file there, they upload it, and then they've create a sales order on top of convert this opportunity into a sales order. They want to be able to see the files that have been uploaded at the opportunity level in the sales order. Then I can click on the related record files and see any files that have been uploaded in any of the phases of this business process. Unfortunately, I don't have an opportunity here, so I can't show you, but if not, it should work well. Then another thing I can do is if I'm working with a customer on this sales order, I can even send them for approval. So we have a approval field here. You select that, and then you select the file that you want to send for approval, and you can click on send for approval. So when the user comes back, they can know immediately without even opening the file if that file has been approved or rejected or pending approval. And mind you, these are native NetSuite workflows. So you can create any kind of workflow, any number of approvals or approvers on those workflows. And I'll also show you how you can give access to Sangeeta for them to approve. You don't need all the users to be on NetSuite, or you don't need all of them to be NetSuite users to collaborate. So from here, let me take you to SkyDoc folders. SkyDoc folders is a replica of SkyDoc, not SkyDoc, but NetSuite file cabinet. We again tried to make it look similar to NetSuite file cabinet. This is the navigation. Go to Documents, SkyDoc folders, and SkyDoc folders. Here you can see all the folders that I have access to. And one of the things we wanted to cover in this is how to use SkyDoc during your NetSuite implementation. I can create folders saying BRD, design doc, expense report, project, QA, use case documents, and so on. Let me open my QA folder, and I can restrict who has access to each of these folders. And I can see all my test cases. I can see what are my test cases for vendor statement, SkyDoc, bulk email, people hub, all of those things, right? And if you see that I've already have one of the test case approved, one is rejected, and one is still pending approval. And you would see the same actions that you see in the SkyDoc tab under a transaction here. So it is pretty much similar. It gives you the name, type of the document, size, again, categories are empty, date, who uploaded it, and so on. Now I can select this, and these, mind you, are not attached to any records. If you want to attach these files to any records, you can, but this is project files. And then I can select any document, right? And then also click on any of the buttons to upload, to do any of these actions. So firstly, let me show you one of the things that we've seen a lot, which is version control. So a lot of the times in NetSuite implementation, you have many people or many users working on the same document, and you want to tell them that, hey, I'm working on it. So we have a feature called checkout. I can select this document and say, let me click on checkout. So I get a alert, and then it gets downloaded onto my desktop, and I close it. And then the screen refreshes. It immediately gives me a low symbol here, warning symbol. It says file has been checked out, and it's checked out by Kishore Boja. So if anybody else comes to this SkyDoc folders and looks at this document, they know that I'm working on it, and they can make a decision to override my changes or just talk to me, ask me to put in my latest version so that they can work on it. So now let me actually upload that file back. I've completed working on that folder. So I'm going to, on that file. So I'm going to select the folder, click on this, and I say, People Hub. So let me select, okay. So I'm checking it back in, and this is done. So now let me click on refresh. Firstly, you see that the this warning symbol is gone, and then the checkout by is empty. So which means that other users can actually right now work on it. And if you have seen that now the user is Kishore Boja, and this says V2. It was V1 before, and the preview also works here, right? So you can see the file, what the file is, but you can also see the latest and the greatest version always on top. Now, if you want to access the older versions, you just click on the version and then go here, and then you can see this is the older file uploaded by Akshara, and I can click on this to see that file. So I always have access to the older versions, and then nothing gets overridden. So SkyDoc archives the older versions and then gives you the latest version on top. And then I can also say I can initiate, approval process from here. I can send it for approval, and then it'll tell me select the entity that you want to send it for approval. I can select the entity and then initiate the approval process. Right. Of course, I also have the ability to move files between transactions right from here. Now, let me take you to the next portion. Just a second. Okay, which is how do we have external users who are not on NetSuite to review these files and approve them, and then work with, collaborate with you. So here I've initiated a approval workflow, and I've said, Sangeeta should approve it. So I'm going to open her record. I think it's already open, employee record. And the way to give them access is just check this box, SkyDoc portal access, and also give the password is usually hidden. We've kept it open, public, just to give you the demo. And then also you can say SkyDoc portal access notification. So they get an email with this password and their email as the user ID, and the link to this portal where they can review the files, access files. So let me just take this. Okay, now I will copy paste the email ID. What's that one? Copying the password now. Put it here. And let me log in. And again, this is very secure way of logging in. This is all built on NetSuite, NetSuite Suitelets. So if you see, I have 3 files to be approved. I can see what the file name is, what the date is, who the owner is, what transaction it is attached to, and what's the status. I can click on this to see what that file is, right? And then I can select this file, I can add my comments, and I can either approve or reject, right? So let's say I approve this file. So once it gets approved, it's removed from the pending approval queue, and then it's put into the approved files. If it's rejected, it's put into the reject set of files. I'll show you, we have a filter here saying either approved files or rejected files. Now, if I go back to sales order, refresh the screen, I should see that the file is approved. You see this here. So the user knows that this file is already approved. And the same goes with SkyDoc folders, where you create a document and then you want a customer approval, you can have them approve it. And obviously we track all the system nodes, so we know who's approved it, at what time, and so on. So you have a log also. Now there's another thing that we want to show you in this portal. So this is one feature of the portal where you can use it for approval of files, but you can also use it to share folders with your entities. Like I said, they don't have to be a customer. They can be a customer, vendor, or just a contact, or even employee to collaborate with you on the SkyDoc portals. And I have access to these 2 folders, so I can click on any of them to see what are all the files that are there in that folder. Okay. So I can see all these files. I can work with you on that. And then finally, if I go back to NetSuite, how do you create these folders and how do you manage access to these folders, right? So first, let me go back here and say, like I said, SkyDoc file categories is a custom list that can be managed at your end. Then we have SkyDoc folders, which I showed you. And then this last one is SkyDoc folders list. So SkyDoc folders list, again, is a list of folders. You can create as many folders you want. You can edit the existing ones, delete them. You can do what is needed. And when you create a folder, you can click on edit and actually restrict who has access to this folder. So I have this field here where I can say manually select who all has access to this folder, or I can say give access to all employees. So if you select this box, every time a new employee is created, they automatically have access to this folder. So if you want to publish any documents across the employees, then this is an easy way to do it. And then we also have a dynamic search that you can build on your entities or employees, and then you can select that search here. So you can say everybody in this department or everybody with this role. Any search that you can build on employees can be selected here. So this is all giving access to NetSuite users on any folder. But also you can go to SkyDoc portal access and say, hey, who has access through the portal? So this is external entity. Again, you have 2 ways to do it. You can either manually select who has access to it, this folder through the portal, or you can say, I'll build a dynamic safe search. Again, this you can build it on any entity. It doesn't have to be employees alone. Okay, so this is through the portal, they have access to this folder. That way it becomes easy for you to collaborate with anybody. So you can have one folder structure, central folder structure, and you can assign access to users based on need. and then you can have them collaborate. So they really don't have to be users on NetSuite to collaborate with you or work with you on implementations. And then once you're done with the implementation, you can you can just leave this SkyDoc here, so they always have access to the files that you've used during the implementation. I know we have a lot of versions and a lot of files, but as long as you're putting them here, you can just leave them there, and then the customer has access to all of these documents at the end of the day. And then, like I said, I want to show you the last few things, which is SkyDoc roles, which is one of the things that I want to show you. And I said, right, so we inherit the roles and permissions of NetSuite, but we also say who can do what, like, who can be a SkyDoc admin. You don't need an administrator to be a SkyDoc admin. You can assign somebody else the same access to be a SkyDoc admin. But you can also say who can upload files, who can view files, and most importantly, who can delete these files. So every action that you've seen on top in SkyDoc, you can restrict who can do it, who don't have access to do it. Only they'll be able to perform those actions. And finally, we've tried to make SkyDoc very easy to use, set up, and configure. Right. So we've created a SkyDoc setup page where you can just download the SkyDoc bundle and install it at your end. We can help you. We can be on the call while you do it, or we can do it for you. We just wanted to make it very, very easy for customers to adopt to SkyDoc. So like NetSuite enable features, you can enable or disable any of the features that I showed you. We have a lot of features. Today, I've had time to only show you very few of them, cover the most basic ones, especially related to your NetSuite implementations. But if you're interested, we can hop on a call and I can take you through all the features in detail. Over to you, Amanda.
Hey, thanks, Kishore. I'm just going to switch my screen back over. Kishore, I have a couple questions based on the demo before. Kishore, can we build a custom process around SkyDoc?
Yes, Amanda. We can build any custom process. SkyDoc is built on NetSuite platform, but it was built by us. We own the code, so we can customize it based on your needs. We've built many customizations for our customers. In fact, they really helped us grow and extend the functionality of SkyDoc.
Hey, this is amazing, Kishore. How many customers do you have?
Amanda, like I said, we have more than 35 customers. You can take a look at the slide to see some of the satisfied customers. And we also have 16 5-star reviews on suiteapp.com.
Thanks, Kishore, for the demo and answering all of the questions. I'm going to move to our Q&A session. Kishore, how does SkyDoc compare to others similar to Box?
So Box is expensive compared to NetSuite, SkyDoc, and Box is an enterprise document management, and their focus on NetSuite, from what I know, is quite low. SkyDoc is built on NetSuite for NetSuite clients. We've had many clients migrate from Box to SkyDoc because they've not gotten the support they wanted, or there's no product roadmap, so on. SkyDoc has 2 new releases every year, which sync with NetSuite releases. And we have new features that we roll out in every release. Something like, and some of the other challenges that I see in Box is some things like mapping files to fields. Let's say I have an item record and I have this field called product data sheet. And I want to map a file to this field. So every time my users go on this item and they go to this field called product data sheet, they want to see the PDF there, or they want to see the document, which is product data sheet. And these are some challenges in Box, which we were able to overcome in SkyDoc.
Hey, that's awesome. Thanks for answering. Kishore, can we migrate our files from NetSuite to SkyDoc?
Yeah, once you implement SkyDoc, we have a utility to migrate files from either NetSuite or even Box.
Will our team be trained on SkyDoc after being installed?
Yes, we will train your team and record the same, and we'll drop it in your SkyDoc to be used in the future. We also have a SkyDoc YouTube channel where we have training videos broken down to small bites. There are videos of 2 to 3 minutes that users can view and learn from there.
Awesome. And someone asked, is there a support contact if we are experiencing issues?
Yes, Amanda. You can either reach out to us by emailing skydoc@tvarana.com or reach out to any of the team members that help you during the SkyDoc implementations.
Thanks, Kishore. I'd like to do a sneak preview of our November webinar. It's going to be on AP automation in NetSuite using Tvarana portals. We promise you're going to love it. Please stay tuned. I'd like to thank you all again for joining us this afternoon and participating in today's webinar. Lastly, here's our contact info should you have any questions regarding this webinar or any of our services or suite apps. We have team members across the globe to help facilitate your needs. Thank you so much, Kishore.
Hey, thanks, everybody.